Hi guys, this is my first in a series of videos on LinkedIn and how to really improve your LinkedIn profile and make a lot more money from LinkedIn. Now this is going to be a series of about 6 videos, and the first part we start with is the whole purpose of LinkedIn for you as a photographer, and why about 90% of the photographers I first start working with have never even taken a penny on LinkedIn. And one of the reasons why is they're not niche. This is probably one of the biggest areas I get conflict with when I start working with a photographer, because they believe that if they're niche, they're only a specialist to a certain amount of people, and that is stopping them getting income from other areas. So say for instance, if you're a general photographer on LinkedIn and you do weddings, portraits, commercial, dogs, babies, whatever, you believe that you can be a photographer for everybody and everybody will come to you. But when in reality, you're faced with a massive amount of competition of other general photographers. I mean, I just done a search here for general photographers in LinkedIn, and you'll see there's 53,000 just general photographers. So that's the sort of competition you're up against. And these are just sort of like from just a quick search under the title of professional photographer. So if you look down these people, you'll see their job titles are professional photographer or professional photographer at, and then the name of their studio. So there's nothing that makes them stand out from anybody else. They all look exactly the same. They're all doing the same job. They're all taking photographs. Now, LinkedIn has a massive network of different types of trades, different types of people, and for LinkedIn to really, really work, if you haven't taken any money on LinkedIn so far, which if you're watching this video, you may not have, you need to go niche. And by niche, I mean you need to aim at a particular area or a particular market, a particular sector, or a particular style of photography, and become the go-to person in that area. So that is what people will recognize you for. And you, obviously, you won't be applicable to everybody. Not everybody will want your services. But the people who do, you'll be the perfect fit for them. And when you're the perfect fit in your niche and you're a specialist, you can charge a lot higher price. And this is how some of my clients have gone from 0 income per month on LinkedIn up to nearly £10,000 a month on LinkedIn by being a specialist. Remember, why by being a specialist, it doesn't just keep you in your particular area, your state or your city or whatever. You know, when you start becoming top of your game and you start becoming well known in your particular niche, people will actually pay for you to travel to the next city, the next state. I have actually had clients who have been paid to go overseas and do works overseas. I'll show you a profile from one of my clients who's had just that happen. So if you look at my profile alone, now I'm a photography marketing mentor. But basically, I'm a marketeer, and I've been a photographer myself for 15 years, and I've run 5 very successful wedding photography, portrait photography, boudoir, commercial, and an aerial photography business. So I've done very well from photography. Then I've taken my knowledge and put together a training plan to help photographers around the world become successful. Now, what I teach isn't specific just to photographers. My marketing techniques and tactics will work with any trade. But if I just put myself up there as a general marketer, I'd probably have a lot less connections than what I have. But if you look at my profile now, my profile is Jeff Brown, author and photography marketing mentor. And I state that I help photographers build an awesome brand, book more clients, and make a lot more money guaranteed. So if you're a photographer and you're looking for marketing advice and you see lots and lots of other marketers, then you see a marketer who's actually been a photographer himself, still is a photographer, and he claims to help photographers make a lot more money, then obviously you're going to want to connect with me, and I'm going to look a lot more interesting to you than any other general marketer. And because of this, you'll see that I've managed to grow a profile. At current, this is June 2018. I've got a profile of, I think, about 12,500 followers, and most of those followers are photographers. So most of those are people who are going to want to use my services. And when I brand everything up, exactly the same. So people start to recognize my brand. So excuse me. So when I write an article, The article is the same color scheme. The logo's in the same place. Everything looks the same, so it's uniformity throughout. So people start to recognize this in their news feeds and see it comes from me. So how do you choose a niche? How do you become a niche photographer? Well, the best thing to do is there's two options. You either look at the market to where you are. So if you're in a big city, then you're blessed in the fact that you can choose any particular niche really if you're in a big city, other than farming, I suppose, and the outdoors. But you have a lot of businesses and industry there, so you could target a particular business. You could target the financial services sector. You could target manufacturing. If you live the coast, you could target shipping. I have one of my connections who targets the railway industry, and he's worked on the railways for years, and his job now is a photographer to the railway industry. So that just doesn't include people who, the rail and the rail tracks and the trains. That includes the people who manufacture the rolling stock, the people who do the health and safety equipment for railways. So he has a huge potential niche, and he's using his expertise in his past job to help him become a specialist in his new job as a photographer. So what you can do to choose to decide on your niche is either what is available to you in the area. Obviously, if you live in a holidays resort area, it's really good to look at being a specialist in tourism or hospitality. Or if it's not what's in your particular area, it could be what you really, really enjoy doing. So if you love photographing interiors, then why not become an interior photographer and specialize in that? Because it's much more easy to become passionate about your niche if it's something you really, really enjoy. I'm just going to show you a couple of other profiles from clients that I work with. Here's John. John Cooper is a drone pilot, and he makes films and videos. Now, he could do that for anybody, but what John has done and how John has become quite successful with this and getting a lot of interest is he has targeted hotels and restaurants. And some of the hotels he gets a fantastic, stunning big hotels set in their own grounds. And John, this has allowed John to almost double his prices in about 6 months because he's becoming the go-to person. And if you look at John's profile, it's got his, all his brands there. You can see his logo. You can see what he actually does. He supercharges your online marketing, drives revenue, and increases profits with his social media support packages. Now, another one of my clients is Leanne. Now, Leanne has a passion for interior photography, and she's found over the years that some of our best clients have been designers and architects. So what she's done is she's niched her profile down to work directly with designers and architects. That could, because Leanne's in not far from London. She has a possibility for a lot of potential clients, but then Leanne can work throughout the country, because when she becomes a specialist helping designers and architects, and she gets to build a reputation, which she's starting to, then people will pay for her services. If you're an architect and you want some stunning interior photographs, why use a photographer who's going to charge and offer a standard service, but he also does babies and weddings and stuff like that? But when you can see a real professional who specializes in interiors, they might be a bit more expensive, yes, but they're going to give you what they want. And remember, people aren't buying purely on budget. People are buying to fulfill a need. They're buying for a reason. And here's another unique profile. This is Fabrizio Viganali, and I worked with Fabrizio last year. And Fabrizio went down a storm. He even got flown overseas to go and work overseas, because his profile is generated around his passion. His passion is for ice hockey. He loves photographing ice hockey. So being from Switzerland, Fabrizio decided he would set his profile up and his niche purely at the ice hockey community. And you've got the sponsors, you've got the teams, anything to do with ice hockey, and the kit, the equipment. So he has now become the go-to person in Switzerland for ice hockey photography, and he's making a lot of money from this particular niche. And luckily for Fabrizio, it's something he's really, really passionate about. So he's been able to pack in his full-time job and really enjoy going to work every day photographing something that he really loves. So it's time to get thinking about what your niche is and how you're going to niche yourself on LinkedIn. So probably one of the best ways is to do a search using the LinkedIn search. Type in a particular thing like hotels if you want to be a hotel photographer, and then search that down by area, so in your particular area, and see what potential is out there. Another thing is you can just know, you know by your area what there is a lot of, and also the surrounding areas as well. Or what is your passion? What really drives you? You know, because if you really niche, you make the connections, you could be flown around the world to do something that you really, really enjoy doing. And that is a massive possibility, because when you become a specialist and you become the go-to photographer for that industry, then people will pay. Budget is not the main issue. The solution is the issue. So I hope you found this interesting, and I look forward to seeing you in the next LinkedIn training video. Thank you.